The rest of the S-Class heroes take their routes into the Monster Association. Flashy Flash goes over the information on the transmitter before he is suddenly accosted by a group of weak monsters. Obviously, he absolutely dunks on those poor fools, only to come face to face with Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame soon after. Now, these two flamboyant boys, who are also extremely fast, compliment Flashy Flash on his speed as he unsuccessfully tries to kill them. They continue their battle, with Hellfire Flame using his steel wires like a net, almost turning Flashy Flash into a bunch of ninja sashimi. But Flashy somehow manages to escape, cutting the whole wall, causing the two to flip the floor and take their clash to an underground setting. All the while, Flashy Flash tries his best to determine who hired them. Gale Wind jokingly asks him if it could be Aburaboza, the king of organ traders who hired him, but Flashy Flash denies the idea, saying that he had already killed him. On top of that, Flashy states that he had already killed Harold the drug kingpin, Heart Collector Buragura, Phantom Chief Chimagusa, the invincible pirate Captain Devilstorm, and the higher-ups of the coalition of assassins. While hearing this, Gale Wind remains uninjured and the trio continue their battle. They mock Flashy, saying that they're at their peak of their physical strength now, until Flashy Flash amidst their supersonic battle dashes in and lightly grazes both of their cheeks. However, while doing this, he notices that there's more to these demon level monsters and beckons them to unleash their true form. The duo then morph into their monster forms, revealing to be dragon level threats, and instantly vault towards Flashy Flash in an attempt to try and kill him. Striking against Flash's blade, Gale whips out his blazing scattering slash. However, the much more experienced Flashy Flash bears the blow easily before pointing his blade at his enemy and using one of his own moves, the heavy Flashy Slash, to destroy Hellfire Flame's sword, splitting his blade in two. The impact is so deadly in fact that the whole bridge behind them crumbles down as a result. Gale Wind expresses astonishment at Flashy Flash's technical prowess, and the monster decides to abandon the battle as ninjas, to instead fight using brute strength and speed. The two then come at Flash, punching and slashing at him at the same time with blinding speed. However, once Flashy Flash decides to finally become serious, he strikes them both with a series of supersonic karate kicks, enough to uncoordinate them, allowing Flashy Flash to slice the two in half with his lethal Flashy Slash, ending both of their lives. With the area collapsing around and behind him, Flashy Flash decides to leave and try to find some other people. After running for a moment, he arrives at a junction and decides to use his locator to figure out his location, only to realize that he's sadly lost it during the heat of battle. Walking around the next corner, he finds Flashy Flash lying in wait. He gauges Saitama's size and deduces that he must be a monster, so he dashes around the corner and slashes at his target. However, Saitama easily dodges. Flashy Flash is shocked but actually recognizes Saitama as the B-class hero who once accompanied Genos to an S-class meeting in the past. Flashy performs his special Flashy Slash move on Saitama, who simply catches the sword in one hand. Unamused, Saitama accuses Flash of being a monster for attacking him first, so he too quickly gets the situation under control and clarifies that he is a hero too. Flash explains that they are in the Monster Association's territory and tells him he should find shelter. Flash also tells him the existence of the Monster King Orochi, exciting Saitama, yet the dude doesn't even realize that he actually already fought him earlier and took him out. As they move forward, Flashy Flash gets annoyed by Saitama's presence to stick around, trying to run off at high speeds to abandon him, but is shocked when the caped baldy can easily keep up with him. As Saitama casually keeps up with Flashy Flash in the halls of the Monster Association base, the S-Class hero is left absolutely flabbergasted, wondering how in the world Saitama can keep up with him so easily. As they run, Saitama notices how he has seen the same monster corpse in section of the halls again and again. He asks Flashy Flash if he's lost, only to be ignored by the ninja. Elsewhere in the Monster Association base, Flashy Flash and Saitama run in circles, neither having any sense of direction. Saitama suggests contacting the other heroes to see what's going on, but remember how Flashy Flash had lost his communication device? Well, he just straight up lies, saying that the other S-Class heroes are competent and will be fine by themselves. Flashy Flash and Saitama are now seen riding around in a minecart trying to get to the Monster King's lair. It's revealed that they are now being led by Manako, a random weak, unranked monster that they've taken hostage. In secret though, Manako is actually trying to take out the idiot S-classes without them realizing. He secretly plans to jump off the cart at just the moment he switches it to another rail, sending them down towards their deaths. But after seeing how far the drop is off his side, the monster actually gets way too scared and doesn't go through with his own plans. Instead, the three end up in the monster mines where they are farming for gold and other ores to sustain their organization. Seeing the absolutely blank faces of the three Muppets inside the minecart, the miners quickly lash out and attack the carriage with the poor Mike Wazowski looking monster shrieking in terror as he watches both Baldy and Flashy instantaneously disappear from inside of the cart. With absolute ease, both of the two overpowered heroes obliterate the hell out of the area they've just entered. Then, just as quickly as they exit the cart, both of the heroes then land back inside of their vehicle. Yet, one of the monsters outside of the cart pins Baldy's cape, ripping him straight back out. Back in the cart, as it actually hasn't stopped yet, it's shown that the tracks literally come to the final drop. Sacrificing himself, Mike quickly grabs a hold of Flashy Flash's leg in an attempt to bring him down and take out the S-Class. Honestly, love this little guy. As expected, Flashy Flash simply darts out of the cart with the little guy still stuck to him, slashing the other monsters around the area. Looking over to his side though, he once again sees Saitama, yet this time man literally has the bag of gold that he's trying to run off with. Swiftly, the two then jump back into another cart, but as the Baldy grabs onto the little monster, he accidentally loses the gold bag in the process, shattering his future hopes and dreams. Meanwhile, Saitama, who's absolutely stressing over his damaged cape, is still with Flashy Flash, who just happens to be giving him a lecture on his own skills. Then in that weird mangaka, Murata, One Piece conspiracy combo, eerily, up on the surface, they're not spoken about spiritualist, Genos, worries that his sensei's clothing may have been damaged. I love this series, man. Meanwhile, Flashy's group is stuck under the remaining rubble left over from the enormous technique. As Saitama and the monster, which introduces itself as Monaco to them, try getting Flashy out of the crumbling debris, the trio starts having a casual mini-conversation together. All the while, the world around them is completely falling to bits. Saitama and Monaco are still busy in their efforts to free Flashy Flash, which is honestly hilarious when you think about it. The dude could probably just dart out of this pile at any point. To make time go quicker, Monaco shows Saitama a quick trick to alleviate his hunger. Watching this from his rubble grave, Flashy Flash is silently grateful that nobody will witness him in such a humiliating position. And down below still, Flashy Flash states that his arm is stuck under something heavy, to which Saitama discovers a cube-like object resembling the one Blast held during the previous flashback with Tatsumaki. Before Flashy Flash could pull his arm out from underneath this thing, the ground in front of them is suddenly pulled out by Tatsumaki, effectively breaking Flashy Flash's katana insta-kill in the process, which was also stuck in the rubble. Above them, Tatsumaki charges up the spire she just crafted with psychic energy as she redirects it towards Orochi, ready to deliver the final blow. Seeing the mass quickly approaching, Monaco, remember the little monster? Well, he attempts to escape using the hole created where Flashy Flash's arm was stuck in, but the three quickly notice something mysterious dwelling there. Weirdly, they see a large humanoid creature crouched in a fetal position, resembling something they call God. Now above them, a scattering of stars spread around the figure, implying that the three are now observing past the fabric of reality and towards somewhere deep within the universe. Well, as they all peer into that mysterious hole, are unable to see anything. Multiple lightings generated by the monster also don't function, as apparently entities within this hole do not interact with most electromagnetic waves. Suddenly, a voice appears in the head of the three, probably God, and offers to bestow powers upon the three of them. Coming in out of absolutely nowhere though, Blast intervenes by appearing through a wormhole and explaining to the three that due to their physical contact with the mysterious cube, they are able to talk to him, which is probably a god of some sort like I just said before, and that Blast has been collecting these cubes as a hobby. The voice then reveals Blast's true identity to the three, which causes Flashy Flash to test the purported hero's strength, attacking him, but Blast easily dodges Flashy's flashy kicks, thus cementing his identity as the top-ranked hero. As they talk, Blast then decides to take the three to the surface via generating another wormhole. Standing there and having already defeated the monsters, Garou then quickly takes notice of a wormhole that emerges near him and releases Saitama, Flashy Flash, and Monaco, who are all seemingly surprised that they have been teleported to the surface by Blast. Being one of the only heroes left, King is delighted to see that Saitama has finally shown up, while Flashy Flash observes his surroundings and wonders if the other heroes have all been defeated. Flash quickly realizes the threat of Garou is near, while Saitama rushes over towards Genos, expressing concern about the cyborg's beating condition. Having just regained his senses himself, Garou is confused about his new form, noting that he does not remember ever surfacing from underground and honestly was just dreaming about sparring with Bang in the past. To his surprise, Flashy Flash appears out of nowhere, throwing a kick directly at Garou, with him narrowly being able to dodge it. Instantly, the Hero Hunter recognizes him as the S-Class hero rank 13. Flashy Flash, who's a little slow, asks him if he's the Monster King boss, to which the Hero Hunter answers that he has nothing to do with the Monster Association, and reveals to him that his name is actually Garou. In an instant, Platinum S interrupts them by simultaneously passing through and pummeling them both. Having seen the change in Garou, he states he's disappointed, as even though he's monsterized so much, he does still not have the courage to join the monsters. Both being unfazed by the sudden attack, Flashy Flash and Garou start a free-for-all battle with Platinum S, allowing the three of them to exchange extremely powerful blows at incredible speeds. Elsewhere, the battle between Garou, Flashy Flash, and Platinum S generates a geometric structure of light covering the sky due to them moving at unimaginably fast speeds. It's mistakenly believed by most of those who are observing the battle from afar to actually be the work of Tatsumaki and the other Esper, with only a few aware that those are the sparks of the battle between Flashy Flash, Garou, and Platinum S. During the fight, Platinum S suggests Garou team up with him to defeat Flashy Flash, pointing out that the hero's been weakened due to losing his sword. Garou, being Garou though, pretends to agree with him, but as soon as Platinum lets his guard down, he's punched in the face by the Hero Hunter. Just then, Garou turns it up a notch and begins to showcase his Monster Calamity Godslayer Fist, a fighting style that is a combination of many martial arts he has learned throughout battles, which, as he uses it against his two foes, manages to overwhelm both Flashy Flash and Platinum S. On the surface, a massive aircraft carrier is operating at sea. Through radar, those inside it begin to notice an immensely huge and mysterious object is about to emerge right below them. As they prepare to withstand the impact of it, a pair of gigantic eyes emerge from the ocean below, capsizing the entire aircraft, sending men, weaponry, and vehicles flying everywhere. As the battle continues elsewhere, Flashy Flash starts to get overwhelmed and is just shocked at the fact that in a single day he has encountered 4 people who have surpassed his supposedly unmatched speed. He desperately tries to best Garou and Platinum S, but fails, with him eventually being defeated by the latter. Over with a confused Sweet Mask, as he's carrying an unconscious metal bat, he walks over, seeing the massive corpse of Sage Centipede, and wondering what could have possibly happened. He then notices that Manako is trying to wake up a knocked out Flashy Flash, but mistakes it for an assassination attempt, so he immediately attacks her. However, before he can strike the monster, his punch is intercepted by a freaking aircraft carrier sliding in and crashing between them, knocking both Sweet Mask and Metal Bat, as well as Flashy Flash and Manako, flying away in different directions. Now, with Big Baldy literally shot into the abyss of space, Garou lands on a pile of debris and confronts the various heroes of the Hero Association that have huddled around together. The remaining heroes immediately realize that the man standing before them was the source of this massive energy explosion just moments before. Only the S-Class heroes remain on the spot, while the lower ranks begin to run away in fear. Seeing this, Garou questions if he has finally achieved his ultimate goal of becoming absolute evil. When Saitama asks everyone who's responsible for Garou's defeat, Flashy Flash states that a naked man appeared out of nowhere and struck the Hero Hunter once before flying away, and that the movement was similar to something that Blast does.